What's going on, Aries? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Aries. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, now we're just focusing on. Now it's like, now that I got the melody down, now I'm really starting to. I'm just really just kind of having fun with these little grooves here, Aries. But enough of that. Because with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this reading, there may be some messages here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Aries. So Aries, I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I'm about to knock them all over, Aries. I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching Aries. Actually, one of them's an Aries, so I definitely check them out. Very intuitive group, so I think you'd enjoy them. But let's get into your first card here. All right, starting off with a little heat there. Aries got a little bit of a mess we might need to clean up because you got the 5th card of Sagittarius here, which is a yarn card. And with this card, this is a card of hassles, problems, big mess, interconnected, complicated, patience needed, future gains, work it out, made up story, many working components, mischief, and out of control. And the energy that's coming through here, Aries, is the problems. And I feel like for some, if we have some problems that we're dealing with, you know, because just thinking with this yarn card, I feel like that it's something where it's like, it's one of those things, maybe for some, it's like we're trying to deal with this thing. Or I think we might have talked about something about this here recently, Aries. So it's like, I feel like maybe for some, it's like, it's not to say that your problem isn't a big problem, but I feel like that maybe for some, it's like maybe like, I don't know if it's like we're putting off things or not seeing them, or it might be that we're not seeing them as big of a deal as we are, and we're just kind of letting this sort of like snowball here, and it's just like becoming this big kind of convoluted mess. I almost feel like it's for some is what's happening. So pay attention to any sort of things like, you know, maybe we have possibly maybe like bills maybe are starting to rack up, or maybe there's just like maybe there's something going on with like relationship type things, whether this be in love or friends or maybe even family. But I don't know. Even the energy that kind of came through here is, and that's a weird quote, but I just popped in my head. It's just like the mo money, mo problems, and I feel like maybe for some, it's like we're taking on this sense of like maybe like stepping even into like a state of like a, let's say for example like a managerial position, and it's just like where, you know, we went in for just like, you know, the pay increase and things along those lines, but it did come with these more responsibilities, and it's just like maybe there's even like this sense of overwhelm that may come through. It's just like maybe we don't feel like we can rise to the occasion that like we thought we could or thought we could deliver, and this might be a thing where I don't know. It's like we might be kind of keeping this stuff kind of bottled up here, and it's just like we need to express this thing or something along those lines. And I feel like even in like a manager setting, it's like it's okay to like ask for help, or, you know, maybe especially if this is like maybe something new, let's say for example, and it's just like, you know, we want to be the one, the confident emperor type of energy, where it's just like, you know, the leader doesn't show any weakness and things along those lines. But I feel like you know, I feel like a real kind of confident leader knows their limits. You know what I mean, Aries? And I feel that there is because we all have areas to grow, even when we rise up to the, like elevate ourselves and things. And as you start to grow, the problems do get a little bit bigger, but the rewards get a little bigger. But it's just like we have to adjust here, or something along those lines there, Aries. But let's get some tarot and get some details on this. Thank you. Alright, Aries, let's see what's going on here. Oh, interesting, Aries. Alright, so you have the Knight of Wands in reverse here. And then you have the Three of Swords, the Eight of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Five of Cups, and then the Ace of Wands upright here. And I feel like for some, it feels like that we've kind of like backed ourselves in a corner here. I almost feel like that it's, with these problems, I feel like it's, I don't know, it's becoming like, I feel like way too much that we can bear possibly. There could be even this sense of like, like either, I don't want to say it's like necessarily leading to a depression, but it's like there's this upset type of energy here. There's like, it's just like, it's like taking, you see, because this Three of Swords is particular intense. It's like I I almost feel like that it's just like we're sacrificing a lot more of ourselves, or really kind of keeping ourselves trapped in a situation more than we I feel like we need to. But I'm not sure if it's like with this Five of Swords here, where it's like if we're worried about maybe letting others down, or maybe even letting ourselves down here, Aries. But I feel there's a need to maybe kind of slow down a little bit and just kind of reevaluate how things are going here. Maybe just like, it's just like that. I'm almost even feel like for some, it's just like, I don't know, it's like we're taking on more than we can chew, maybe with the Ace of Wands here. I'm not, I might need to get a little bit more with that Ace of Wands, but I'm even kind of getting for some others that there's, and that's just one aspect. We have more problems that we're dealing with, and we're trying to just take on a lot on our plate. That's one thing. But I'm almost kind of getting with some others, I'm getting more of a relationship type of vibe here. And again, this doesn't have to just deal with love. Maybe this could be amongst friends, or maybe amongst family, or something along those lines, where it's just like maybe we feel, I don't know if we feel trapped in a relationship, for example, or maybe we're feeling that things aren't flowing like they used to. There's this sadness here that's kind of coming through with this Three of Swords. And maybe for some, we're thinking about parting ways. Like, I don't know if this is, it's like the, for some, if this is love, this feels like that maybe like the passion's gone. Maybe it started off something kind of fun at first, and then maybe we made this move. Maybe we moved in, for example. And then it's just like things, just like the dynamic shifted. It started off as this harmonious thing, but now it's kind of stacked up into this whole type of mess here. But get some more on this Ace of Wands here, Aries. Thank you. Interesting, Aries. All right, let's talk about this, because you have and that's interesting, you even popped up like this. So you have the Seven of Cups and the Queen of Wands, one of your cards upright, or excuse me, in reverse, and then you have the Page of Cups upright. And let's talk about the Queen of Wands for a second, because she popped up, and I normally don't mention this unless it happens to come up like this, but during the pre-shuffle, Queen of Wands popped up in reverse while I was doing your pre-shuffle. And I feel like that for some, there's this energy of, one, I feel like it's making sure to not take on more than we can chew, you know, or it's that's part of it, because the Queen of Wands, where she is a passionate and bold figure, she can be on the lower vibration, a little impulsive, you know, a little, just a little reckless. And that's kind of part way what's kind of coming through here. It's like, that's one aspect, but even on a different kind of level here, Aries, I feel that there is this something with this Two of Cups here in the Page of Cups. I feel like that if we've been, because the Queen of Wands, she is a very attractive figure, Aries, and you know, being a fire sign, you know, you know, fire signs are very passionate energy, you know, just as a sun sign. I got a bunch of Leo on my chart, so I get that. But I feel that because the Page of Cups always gives me like this Pisces energy, and I feel like Pisces is always very loving, and I feel like we want to be mindful about maybe spreading ourselves too thin in that aspect. You know, this has to deal with like people in things, you know, where, you know, I get, again, the Queen of Wands is something attractive, but we don't want to get into any kind of mess or create something out of unnecessarily, you know what I mean? So I don't know, Queen of Wands, Knight of Wands in reverse, you know, especially if this is some sort of like relationship thing, you might want to slow your roll a little bit, Aries, just because I don't, you know, again, I wouldn't tell you what to do. You're in a judgment free zone here, but your ruler is in Libra right now. And Libra deals with relationships. And, but the thing is about Libra too, you know, which I don't feel like it's talked about too much. Libra energies also deals with hidden enemies. And I feel like that, and not to say that you have people that are out to get you, but if we're over here breaking hearts, Aries, or making promises and things that, you know, for that, and then Five of Cups, Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, you know, like, let's, again, I wouldn't, you know, judgment free zone, but let's be mindful more. All right. Just something to think about there, Aries. And again, just whether it's, again, relationships, or if it's just like, you know, starting up, maybe we're just like, just again, maybe taking on more stuff, then maybe it's just like, I don't know. I'm not sure how that other energy really kind of applies. So apply it to your situation, Aries. But let's get some tea. Let's take a moment and pause, and then let's get some get some more, or get another oracle on this. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Aries. Aries. All right, listen. So you got the fifth card of Capricorns here, which is the Dear John card. And with this card, this is a card of rejection, cold hard truth, breaking up, set boundaries, divorce, strained situation. It's not you, it's me. The end, final word, cutting cords, and something's not working. Yeah. All right, and the energy that's coming through here, Aries, is the breaking up. And I feel that, Aries, we want to be mindful of that. And again, it's like, it's one thing if we're in a relationship, and something's not working, but this Queen of Wands is feeling a little fast. So, you know, because I'm not sure if maybe for some, if it's like maybe we're dealing with this thing because maybe we just got out of a relationship, possibly. Maybe we're feeling in our heads, maybe this is a thing we might be doing out of like, you know, trying to boost our self-esteem, you know, because that is something too, you know, like the Queen of Wands is confident, is bold, is assertive, but maybe for some, you know, maybe we just got our hearts broken with the Three of Swords here. We've kind of gotten in our heads, whatever this is looking like, but now it's like we're trying to prove something to ourselves, you know, that we still got it, or something along those lines. And you know, Aries, I won't put this all on you. You know, maybe we're dealing with a situation where you might be, maybe someone's doing this things to you, and maybe there's creating this problems. And if you're noticing that you're with someone who's bringing this type of energy here, you know, who's 1 minute, maybe it's like I'm almost getting like a breadcrumbing type of energy or something along those lines. And you know, it's like again, like the it's like it's been this like this time of just like disappointments and heartbreak and you know maybe arguing and just like the passion is gone here. You know, this might be a time we may need to set up some boundaries and do this thing where we might need to break up with this person altogether, especially if you, because again, you are, because on the flip side of that, you are, your ruler is in Libra, and you are, you know, might be feeling a little more friendly, more connected, you know, wanting to form a deeper type of bond. You know, that is Libra energy, but that's your opposite sign. And Mars, you know, is technically in detriment in Libra. It's an interesting energy for there. It's like we're in this almost like this like confusing energy because yours is like associated with the first house, which is more geared towards self. But now we're just like it's at this dissonance. I feel like maybe that's happening. It's just like we're trying to, I don't know, and if you're just noticing that too, like this may be a time where we might need to maybe cut something off if things are going this type of way here and it's just creating more problems than it was than when this thing started. But let me get some tarot on this, Aries. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Aries. Interesting. All right, Aries. So you have the Moon in reverse here, and then you have the Seven of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Coins, and then the Knight of Cups upright here. And I feel like for some, you know, however this may be applying here, I feel like for some, like let's talk about more so if we've been maybe if we're in like a tougher type of relationship here. I feel that there may be a need. It's like the moon. I feel like is like this realization that you know, it's kind of seeing through the illusion. You know, maybe someone had offered this, you know, had promised this like this love. It was gonna be fun. You know, coming in kind of like Knight of Cups, just you know, really just sort of just laying it on thick, just like Aries. You know, I love you. I want to move in with you. Want to do all this stuff here, but then it's like as soon as we get in here, it's like as soon as like the passion fades, you know, and it's just like starts to get into almost like the day-to-day routine and thing. I almost kind of been getting with the Nine of Coins here. It's like when we're, I don't know, it's like maybe you've decided to kind of focus more. I don't know, it's like, you know, like when the energies kind of balance out and you just like you may like get back to like, okay, we're in the honeymoon phase, but I still got things that I want to accomplish as well. And maybe there's this almost like codependent energy that might be kind of forming here. And you know, maybe we've been kind of, I don't know, it's just like the moon is just like we're seeing through all of that. And you know, I feel that there is a need with the Nine of Coins, if that's the case, to really kind of maybe take this time and just kind of focus on yourself. You know, maybe you've been just kind of giving to this person, but if we're not getting anything back, then I don't know. It's just like there's, you know, we can choose to stay in this thing if we want to, Aries, but at some point, we, you know, we can't get mad at this other person because we're choosing to put up with this type of behavior here, and that gets, you know, gets into a tricky type of realm. And you know, I'm not coming at you, Aries, but it is just something to think about. You know, there's a lot kind of going on here. I feel like that it's, and I feel like even kind of some way too, like if that's something that's happening, Aries, that's going to get in the way of you really kind of manifesting your abundance because you're spending your energy elsewhere. You got all this heat that's going on here, but you know, that's just one thing there. But I do kind of feel like for some others, if we've been maybe just dealing with like a breakup and we just been kind of just been getting out there again, just kind of having some fun, or just kind of, I don't know, just again like maybe you're laying it on thick or something along those lines. I feel that there is this energy of needing to kind of see how this behavior could affect others, and I don't know. It's like maybe we're doing this because like I'm almost getting, there's some sort of insecurity I'm kind of getting here with the Seven of Wands, and I feel like there's a need, especially if you just got out of something. Sometimes the universe puts us in this state of being single for a while to kind of focus on ourselves here, and maybe that's something, even though Libra deals with like the one-on-one relationships, this could be forming that relationship with yourself, because the Two of Cups can almost be like it's a need to kind of fill up your cups, to take care of, connect with higher self again, and connect with you and do some self-care and things along those lines. But all your people keep running too, Aries, and I'm like, that's enough. Like, and it could, yeah, sure, could it be clumsiness, sure, but I feel like there's something to that too. It's like, I hope this is making sense, Aries, because there's a lot going on here. There's this. It's like we're kind of stuck in this place of wanting to maybe focus on ourselves, but we want love. It's like we want it all, but it's just like I feel like there's a need to kind of focus here first. Or let me get a little bit more on the Seven of Wands here, Aries. Thank you. All right, Aries. So you got a lot of heat here, Aries. The Seven of Wands is clarified by the Four of Swords in reverse, and then you got the Six of Wands upright. And I'm getting this kind of anxious energy that's happening with the Four of Swords here. Like and I feel like more so it's just like if we've just gotten broken up with someone, maybe. It's just like we've gotten in this head, like, it's like we've gotten in our head that it's just like, I don't know, like maybe something that they said has really kind of just thrown us out of whack here. And it's just like with the Six of Wands, and that's an interesting way of putting it. It's just like we're doing all this stuff here to try to make ourselves feel on top again, or just like, again, feel kind of like in your Emperor energy or something, where it's just like we're, I don't want to say dominant, but it's like it's sort of giving me that sort of like that kind of feel like we're needing to feel like we're in charge, or that we have control, that we we're that one, that the hot one or something like that. But just be mindful, Aries. I feel like it's just about how we may be just sort of how we might be just kind of spreading this heat around. Right? And just observing too, again, not just putting this all on you, Aries. If someone's been, I don't know, it's let's get a little martini. Let's get your last oracle. Oh, okay. Thank you. Interesting. All right, Aries, so you got the first card of Taurus here, which is the Emerald card. And with this card, this is a card of healing, fertility, eternity, reflection, humility, sexuality, rare, peace, soul restoration, growth, strong relationship, balance, free-flowing love, mature love, and heart chakra. All right, Aries, and the energy that's coming through here is the sexuality. Now, this is kind of getting into sort of like devil territories, is what I kind of feel is happening here, Aries. And because you got this, I think yes, the Seven of Cups. That's for me, that's a prelude to a devil moment there, you know. And it's like I feel like for some it's just like maybe we're trying to do this, we're again maybe we got broken up with someone, and it's just like we're trying to heal ourselves through just through others, you know. It's like we're looking for someone to heal us, as opposed to taking this energy and getting into and trying to heal ourselves, you know. But in this, you got to be really mindful with that, Aries, and you want to consider not just the safety for you but for others. And again, this isn't in, you're in a judgment free zone, and this also, this isn't medical advice, but it's more than just you, when we get into that type of energies here. And so, because I'm even kind of getting with the moon, even kind of popping up here. I'm more so getting the Pisces type of feel from here, and with the being in reverse, it almost is giving me that. It's just like we're not exercising good boundaries or something like that, or not, or we're just like we're being too giving with our love or something along those lines, and just sort of just again just throwing all this heat around, and I don't know, Aries. It feels like that. It just feels like that. There's something here we're trying to just. There's this escapism, or this like we're trying to build ourselves in like this. Hmm. It's because it's like both the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. They're both very passionate, but it feels like the Knight of Cups. This is Scorpio energy for me, and I feel like there's a need to. We're not. It's like we're not. Hmm. I feel like it's less on focusing on things that are fun, and more so if we are, So let me get some tarot on this and get some details. All right, Aries, last little bit here. Just talking about Scorpio. So you have the Death card, the Four of Coins, and then the Ten of Wands in reverse here. And then we have the Nine of Wands, and then the Ten of Cups here, upright, Aries. And let's switch back over. Because I feel like that I'm Aries. I feel like there's something that's needing to change. How we're going about doing things, and again how we're spending our energies. It's like because I mean seriously, you got a lot of wands that are coming through here, and I feel like it's all in the need to like we're trying to, for some I feel like we may be doing this to try to heal or something along those lines, or maybe even for some it's like paying attention to some, like if we're in this relationship where it's like we feel that it's like the other person wants you to be this certain type of way, but then they go out and do the things that they tell you not to do. We're just like, I don't like like for example, like I don't like someone who's a cheater or a liar and this and that, and then they go around and they're lying and cheating and sneaking and all this stuff here. I feel there is this energy. It's like there's something that's it's a kind of a toxic behavior. So it seems very like just an unhealthy expression of something that's meant to be more. Because when you think about just like sex, and I'm thinking about Scorpio and Taurus, because I feel like both of them get this energy of being, just kind of like overly sexual and things. Because Taurus is like a more sensual sign, and it's where I remember hearing something about or reading something about this, and I really like how they put it, because both it's beautiful, because Taurus is like kind of represents that, like that physical, just the physical aspect of sex, the act of it, and the passion and the being present in all of that, whereas Scorpio is about taking it to that more intuitive side of sex, that deeper sort of connection that's happening. There's not that Taurus isn't deep. Both of them are deep in different type of ways, but this feels like there's no depth that's happening here. It feels that it's just, it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot of energy to just kind of throw at someone when we're trying to heal through others, and that's not fair on either end, Aries, whether this is happening to you or we are doing this to someone. So I feel that there is a need to just kind of reevaluate some things, because that type of behavior tends to catch up. And again, this is not me trying to scare you, but it is to get you just to think about this type of stuff here. All right, I think I'm gonna leave that there, Aries. But yeah, something to think about, especially with your ruler being in Libra for a little while. Yeah, really be thinking about that. Let's be mindful of the relationships that we're forming, or the ones that we're in, and that may be waning down on our energies and things. Well, both are weighing down on your energies, Aries. But all right. But if anything resonated with the Aries, give it a thumbs up, in the sense of just like, we're all trying to figure this. It's the energies have been kind of tougher here the last, I feel like, since really kind of Mercury retrograde. I feel, and just this Virgo season, I've been feeling this for a little while, that Virgo season was going to be a tough one, considering all the retrogrades that are happening. But I feel like we really are kind of in a deep time of reflection, and there's a need to kind of slow down and really think about stuff. But and share this if you know someone who's been kind of, either in a situation, or maybe just been kind of acting out, or been something is being done to them, or you know Aries. And then if you haven't already, let's shift gears. Subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each week. And then last thing, if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Sheridan Friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans, even when they're Pisces. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Aries. So here's the devil. And so I feel like that's the problem. I feel like at that first card, things could potentially get out of control, Aries. And we want to be mindful. And it doesn't matter what end you're on. If we're in some sort of toxic thing, or something that, again, is lowering our vibrations, you got to be mindful of that, because that's going to affect your abundance, it's going to affect your health, it's going to affect a lot of things. And you get where I'm going with that. So I don't think we need to spend too much time on the devil. Let me get your oracle card here, so I can get you out of here. All right, thank you. All right, Aries. And then you got the dream card up right here. And I almost feel like with this, Aries, that we do need to just kind of take a beat, and just kind of I don't know, there's something here. There's some healing that needs to be done. There's some reflecting that needs to be done. There's some, maybe even some, like, I don't know, Aries, it's just like maybe we've been, I almost feel like that with this dream card. It's just like we've almost it's like we're almost gotten into like this kind of like trance like state or something, where it's just like we're just sort of operating, like it's just like, I'm not that's if that's resonating with your ears, if you've just been feeling, I don't know, like it's almost like we've been sort of like checked out, or I don't know, it's like things have gotten just really kind of murky here. That's interesting how this dream card is coming through here. But Aries, I just really kind of, this might be something we need to kind of sleep on and just sort of kind of be with ourselves for a little while, if that's something that's been resonating with you. Because just because your ruler is in Libra, that doesn't mean we have to be in relationships. That could be just evaluating how our relationships are. So, and maybe we had this sort of big dream. If and more so, this is kind of dealing with people if we're in a relationship and like maybe someone's been doing something to you. And I feel like that maybe for some, it's like it started off as a Two of Cups. It was this big thing, Knight of Cups. There was all this love and all this passion and things. And, you know, we thought we were in this happy home, happy family. It was just like for all perfect. But now it feels like that with the devil being here. It's like there's this dream. I don't know. Might be that it might be time to wake up from the dream, Aries, and kind of see things with the moon being a reverse, see things for what they really are. So, all right, I think I'm gonna leave that there. Aries, you stay safe out there. However, it's, you know, if this is resident, stay safe out there, okay? Because this is tough. You're like even on either end. Because if we're doing this, you know, do other people, there's something that might be hurt there too. So you raise your vibration through the roof, and self care, and get some rest, and really just kind of evaluate things, Aries. And I will catch you on the next one later.